Good morning, Seneca High School volleyball fans. Welcome to this final broadcast of Irish Live for the 2020-2021 season and this girls varsity volleyball matchup as the Lady Irish of Seneca are taking on the Red Devils of Hall High School. I'm Levi Meyerhofer along with Mr. Richard Milliman. And Mr. Richard Milliman, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing quite all right. I got up this morning, stayed over at a friend's house last night, came home, changed oil in my lawnmower, came here, and I found that we had a very nice group of people. The freshman volleyball and basketball parents had gotten us an immense amount of Subway and desserts and Gatorade.
There's at least enough there to feed 20 people, and there's 4 of us up here right now.
Well, hey, speak for yourself. Anyway, that just makes me so happy.
It makes my day.
And I really appreciate them appreciating us.
It's good that what we're doing is helping people from all over. That being said, I also want to right away thank Ms. Paige Baker for doing the camera for the varsity game and Mr. Brady Danik for doing the computer scoreboard and the instant replay. We're going to go with the starters now for Hall High School. Number 2, Maddie Hannon. Number 3, Zoe Morris. Number 4 is the libero, Cammie Walk. Number 14, Mia Matino. Number 10, Hannah Parente. Number 13, Lily Orlandi. And number 18, Callie Vassos.
And for Seneca, we have number 1, Addison Bland. Number 3, Justine Ursua. Number 6, Addie Olson. Number 10, Brooklyn Gertz. Number 13, Madison Bromberg. Number 17, Emma Smith. And the libero for Seneca is Brooke Roslin.
Like we said, this is the last volleyball game of this COVID season and no postseason, unfortunately, for this stellar group of Seneca athletes. I think that they could definitely make a giant run in the 2A postseason. So it's unfortunate that they do not get that final send-off, but this will be it for them after today. 14, Mia Matino will start first for Hall, and that's Gertz up to Bromberg. A little bit of a misread on Bromberg's part, has to put up her left hand and can't quite get it over the net. It's going to be a 1-0 Hall lead. Olsen to Gertz, up to Bromberg again. Barely missed the net on herself. And what a save by Smith just at the net before it hit the ground. Seneca safely passed it over. Here's Smith setting to Bromberg, tips it over, and a dig comes from Orlandi. Bromberg again off the net and returned by number 14, Vassos.
Just a little bit too muscle on it. Goes out the back.
Excuse me, number 14 was Matino, who is back up to serve. Bromberg spike with a dig from Morris. And that's going to be a double hit called on Matino.
And we have number 2, Taylor Draves, in for the Lady Irish to serve.
Walk received the serve. Block at the net by Bromberg with Ursula right next to her. It's going to be Walk to pass it safe. Just a little too far over, and that's going to be out the back. It's tied up 2-2 early on here in this matchup.
Good heads-up play by Addie Olson there to realize where she was at and that the ball was going out.
And that spike, that's a kill for the Hall Lady Red Devils. Looks like that one came from number 18, Vassos. That one barely got in there. That was excellent placement on the part of Vassos.
Yeah, definitely painting the line there.
Olsen received. Here's Gertz up to Bromberg. And that gets down on Bromberg's part.
Find some hardwood. It was a good spike.
Let's see that one again. And that brings up junior Maddie Mino for the Lady Irish to serve. And that's going to be a lift called to number 13, Orlandi. She was kind of also in the net, so I think it would have been Seneca's either way. That one received by Parente. And another lift called on Hall. Mino's serve that time was taken in by Hannon. Tipped at the net. Seneca still has it though. Bromberg overhand over. And in the net, number 2, Maddie Hannon. And Morris will tip it over. This is Gertz to Bromberg, who will do the same back. It'll be immediately returned by Martino. Gertz up to Hogus. The ball fumbles its way through the Hall Red Devils and to the floor, and that's going to be a timeout on Hall. 7-3, Seneca leads, and Ricky, I want to congratulate you on a fantastic win last night against the Dwight Trojans.
Oh, I appreciate it, but it wasn't just me. It was a whole team effort.
It's great to finally see the team come together like that and extend the streak against Dwight to the last 5 wins and then 10 of the last 11.
Really? Huh. Because I thought we'd been winning for like 30 years.
There was a game, I believe it was 20. I have it right here. Yeah, in 2015, Dwight won 28-20. We've won every game since then, and we hadn't lost before that since 2009.
Weak. So everyone was telling us at football practice that we hadn't lost to Dwight in since the 90s.
We've been playing Dwight since the 90s.
Yeah, and I thought we won every single time.
No, there was actually a 5-game streak for Dwight in the mid-2000s.
Well, that ain't happening no more.
Bromberg with the spike. That was blocked at the net by Hannon. What a block.
Man, that thing went soaring off of her hands. Got to have a lot of courage to get up by that. And, of course, we had Madison Bromberg on for commentary on the JV as long as she could be up here. I learned a lot of things.
There's Bromberg with the kill. What'd you learn, Ricky?
I learned that you want more spin up as opposed to less spin on the serve, and whenever they just pass it over, that's a free ball.
I think she also did the freshman game. I don't know if she was alone on that. But I want to thank her for stepping up today and filling a spot that couldn't quite get filled with all that's happening today. Musical's coming up, so students got to be there. We had baseball practice today. That's where I was. So I'm thankful that she stepped up.
And I don't know why it took us that long to get a volleyball player up here in one of the lower level games.
It would have been a lot better to do sooner. I think that's something that we need to keep in mind for next year.
Well, not we. This is our last broadcast.
Right, but Irish Live in general.
Yeah.
Hannon's going to hit it over, but that's going to hit the antenna and drop. And that's going to be now 12-3. Seneca is on I believe, 9-0 run. I believe it was 3-3.
The Irish definitely have a lot of momentum here.
Hogus to Gertz. Up to Brumbarek, who tips it over. And that's going to get down after being hit by number 13, Orlandi, and also the libero walk. Maddie Mino, that serve's going to be just a little bit too far out the back.
Yeah, and that ends the run. I'm pretty sure that was a 10-point run right there.
Excellent job by Maddie Mino.
With the service from Maddie Mino, definitely.
Gertz to Brumbarek. That's the free ball.
Didn't look too free. It had a nice trajectory on it. Nice downward angle.
And that's going to be tipped over and out of reach of Draves, who dives for it. That's 2 in a row for Hall. That serve from Zoe Morris was received by Draves. This is Brumbarek to tip it over. Gertz a quick to Brumbarek. That little quick adjustment put Brumbarek on her offhand. Still got it over. Gertz to Hogus. And Hall's going to be called in the net. That's going to go against Maddie Hannon. Seneca gets it back, and Brumbarek is going to be up for the Lady Irish. Seneca definitely coming back after their loss a couple nights ago against the Roanoke Benson Rockets, their only non-conference or the only conference loss of the season. And they're trying to end on a win here. Brumbarek's serve goes off the fingertips of Matino, off of walk, and that's going to be a tough play. And Pullum will not get there. Well, she got there, but will not get it over between the antennas.
I also learned that the Lady Irish run a 5-1, which is 5 hitters and 1 setter, and the setter being Gertz currently. And that last year they ran a 6-2 with 2 setters, but pretty much all 6 of them were hitters.
That one trying to go up to Wozniak behind, but Wozniak was anticipating a little bit closer to the net, and that's going to be another timeout called by Hall and the Red Devils. The normal spring sports season, currently called the summer sports season, commences with athletic events here at Seneca High School on Monday with appearances by the baseball and softball teams. Baseball is home against Hinckley Big Rock. The varsity team is at 4:30 on Monday, and then also the softball team will be at Princeton on Monday. And then next Friday, the track team will travel to El Paso Gridley for their invite there. So good luck to our now summer sports. And do you know anything about what wrestling's up to, Ricky?
No, no. But I believe we will try to live stream the wrestling.
That's true. We will. Since that's in a good position here in the school, we will be able to get that to you here on Irish Live.
Yeah, I believe they have 42 matches planned in about 30 days.
That's.
But you can have like multiple matches.
Correct.
Most of the time in a dual meet, you get like you get one, but I think they've got to want a bunch of tries and quads, which you get like 2 or 3. But yeah, we plan on doing that, and you'll have me on commentary.
Fantastic, thank you. We got Lily Orlandi coming up for Hall on the serve. That's going to be too far. Riley Johnson pulls back at the last second.
And we have number 18, Destiny Downing, in for the Lady Irish.
Received by Walk. There's Orlandi up to Worden, and that's going to get into the net. 20-6. Seneca leads the Hall Red Devils in this season finale for both teams, I believe. That one up to Hannon with a dig from Gertz. Bland, who will give it back to Gertz to pass it over. And Seneca's going to be called in the net. Looks like that was against Chloe Lind. And Addie Bland, a quick adjustment. It's going to lead to a lift on the service. It is 21-8. Bland to Gertz. Now back to Bland, who will tip it over. Hannon gave that one to Wozniak. That was blocked at the net, but still landed on the Seneca side. And Hannon still fighting for the Red Devils. Addie Bland from behind the 10-foot line. Put that one over. This is Gertz. And Destiny Downing is going to be called into the net. That one's going to go off Johnson, and that's going to be an ace for Hannon. And the Red Devils are on 6 in a row. Make that 7 as that one goes off of Carly Grieve in the back row. Lind to Downing, and that return doesn't get there. Hannon once again. Mino took that one that time. Might have been tipped at the net by number 18, Vassos, but I think that either way was going to be still on the Seneca side, and that landed right in front of Gertz, a tough spot to try to get it back up without hitting the net.
And we have number 17, Emma Smith, in for number 18, Destiny Downing.
Saved by Bland to keep it in play. There was Wozniak. Here's Gertz to Bland again, tips it over. And from the back, that's Pullum. Gertz up to Smith, and that's into the net. 10 in a row for the Hall Red Devils. And they're right back in it. It was 21-6, and Hannon hasn't stopped. That's 11.
At what point do you think, oh, there we go. I was just going to say, at what point do you think we hear a timeout, but.
Right there, as they're within 4. And Seneca kind of lost their stride a little bit there. Just simple mistakes that are making a little bit of a problem for their team. Well, Rick, what do the Lady Irish have to do in order to finish this off?
Stop the serve, get some momentum back. Possibly see a Brooka Bland combo here.
And Hannon comes out of the timeout firing and fires that one way over the court, and that will go out the back. She'll be replaced by the libero Walk. That brings in Chloe Lind to serve.
Just a little bit too much mustard on that one.
As with that one, and Hall will get it right back.
And that's really hard there. You really want to make that serve and get some momentum going, but just didn't happen that time. And we have number 6, Addie Olson, in for the Lady Irish.
Some rotation questioning right here. Spike from Vassos. And Seneca had the dig, but couldn't get it back over after some miscommunication. And for the Lady Irish dove for that ball before it hit the ground. It's 22-19. Gertz to Smith. That one will get down on the Red Devil side after being tipped in the net and then hit by Parente. And now Seneca needs 2.
And we got number 14, Addie Ultravogue, in for the Lady Irish. And Madison Bromberg, number 13, comes in for Brooke Roslin.
Walk the libero, received the serve on that one. Morris passed it back over. Gertz to Bromberg, that's going to be returned, blocked at the net by number 3 Morris and number 18 Vassos. What an incredible block by the Hall Red Devils on that one. Ursua to Gertz, up to Bromberg, too far.
Almost took number 10's head off with that one. Good thing they ducked in time. Man, that had some speed behind it.
Olsen to Gertz, up to Bromberg. That one will go off of the shoulder of Walk, and that's going to lead one more for the Lady Irish.
It is currently 24-21. Back to serve, Taylor Draves.
Hall came rolling back from a 21-6 deficit, had 11 in a row. And now Seneca just trying to prevent them from catching all the way back up. Here's Gertz up to Bromberg, who will tip it over. The pass back over by Walk. Gertz tips it over. And returned by number 13, Orlandi. Here's Gertz to Bromberg again, and Walk gets down on that. Received by Rosin on the return. Walk with the dig from Bromberg. Walk passes it over. That's received by Draves. Here is Gertz. Quick to Bromberg. Blocked at the net by number 18, by number 18, Vassos. What an excellent save by the Hall Red Devils.
Yeah, Bromberg had an amazing block right there.
And that one lands in on the line. That one coming from Parente in the back row. That was an excellent volley on both sides.
That was a really good volley between both sides, yeah.
Some action from, I think everyone on the court got some action there. Great saves, especially by the liberos. Walk, and Rosalind. That's going to end it for the Lady Irish in the first one. Bromberg with an excellent kill to finish it. That was Olsen to Gertz, over to Bromberg, and then that went off the hands of Walk. And that's going to bring Seneca into the second one with a 25-22 win in the first. Again, I'd like to thank Mr. Richard Milliman for all the time that he has put toward Irish Live this season. So, Ricky, why don't you tell us a little bit about about yourself, what you like to do, and what your future plans are?
Oh, it's school. This year I'm only playing football, but I'm also a part of the FCA. I've wrestled for 3 years, played baseball for 2. And that's about it. I plan on going to IVCC, get general education, and then go to a 4-year school and study theology and be ordained and become a pastor.
That's awesome. I'd like to also thank Ms. Paige Baker for working the camera here this morning, and Mr. Brady Danick Jr. here at Seneca High School for working the scoreboard and the instant replay on the computer. I'd like to thank, obviously, Calvin Meyerhofer, my brother, for all his help this season, setting up, tearing down, and waiting for me on late nights when I was making the graphics in the broadcast journalism room, because those took time, which I used past 7. But there were nights I was here till 9:30 working on those, and I was happy with how some of them turned out. But still, also to everyone at Irish Live that's helped this season, we'll give them a special shout out here at the end of this broadcast, as this is the last broadcast here on Irish Live for this season. Ricky, you said you'll be back for wrestling to do some commentary there?
And I would also like to congratulate you on Mr. Irish, I believe, got the win, right?
Yes, that came out last night. So thank you. I appreciate it. You can watch the Mr. Irish pageant here on Irish Live after this volleyball matchup. It's still it's no longer in the premiere setting, but it's still up here on Irish Live, so you can give that a watch. Wasn't quite the same as in person, but it still had something to it. Here's Gertz up to Bromberg. Brooke Brombo combo, yes it is. And that gets Seneca started with their scoring after Hall started with theirs. Hey, so both of these teams are ending their season against each other this season, but Seneca's first game for the 2021-2022 season is against Hall at Hall. That's going to be on Tuesday, August 24th, so Irish fans, be ready for that one. We won't have it here on Irish Live because that's an away game, but still be ready for that. Draves. Serve was received by Walk. There's number 3. Morris puts that down. That hit both Gertz and Draves, but still hit the ground on the Irish side. Tied up 2-2. Here's Gertz up to Bromberg. Two-hand tip over, and great placement found where no one was.
Yeah, it was definitely a good spot.
Even if someone tried to dive, they would have to do it twice in order to get there with the way she placed it.
And I don't think that is physically possible.
I don't think it is either, not with the speed at which the ball moves. From the back row, Walk, overhand, goes under the net. Would have been out anyway. Rosalind to Gertz, up to Bromberg. Two-hand over, and that one hits Walk and goes to the ground for a Hall. Elchervik again the serve. Morris passing it over, received by Elchervik. Gertz to Bromberek with a dig from Parente. Roslin with a dig. That was Gertz to Hogus, and that was blocked at the net by Hall. I believe that was number 2, Maddie Hannon. That brings up Zoe Morris for Hall. That's going to hit Taylor Draves and go out the back. That's going to hit the back wall, and Hall back within 1. It's 5-4. Seneca won the first one here on Irish Live. We thank you for tuning in here to this now it's this afternoon. Began this morning for the final broadcast of this season. Gertz to Bromberek. Saved by the Red Devils. Same combo, and that one's going to be received by Rolandi. Dig from Grieve on the return, and that's going to get down on the Seneca side. Tied up 5-5. Here's Morris again. Bromberek to Gertz. Quick to Bromberek. Brooke Brombo combo. Man, I wish we would be seeing more of that today, Richard.
Absolutely. I think this would be a way different score if they converted on more of those. And man, the launch angle that ball had on it, let me tell you.
It's a great job by Bromberek always to find that open spot in a split second to put that ball.
I was hoping to see it last time she came up, but hopefully we get to see a Bromberek barrage here.
Walk, one-hand receive on that. Overhand pass going to be way too far out the back. That's going to go over the head of Grieve, and Bromberek continues her run behind the line. Return by Wozniak with a dig from Grieve. This is Gertz up to Hogus, received by Walk. That was Matino to Orlandi, and a kill from Addie Bland. Let's check that one out again. That was Draves to Gertz up to Bland, and put that one in the backcourt. Bring up Bromberek again. And an ace for Bromberek.
That was a nice spot on that one.
Almost toward the line. Depending on where you are on the Red Devils side, it looked like it could be out. Especially if you're a little bit further away from the line.
From up here, it looked in.
Walk to Hannon. Safely passes it over. And Gertz is going to tip it over with one hand. That's going to go off of number 21, Wozniak. And out, and that's going to be a 6-0 run for Seneca. It's 11-5. I would love to, right now, take some time to thank everyone who has made Irish Live possible during the basketball and football and volleyball seasons. First off, the IT department, Mr. Herrig and Mr. Grunauer, all the work that they did behind the scenes to help us with this, but also the athletic department, all the teams and the coaches for being great working with us and allowing us to do a little bit of background work with their teams. And then finally, I want to get to everyone who actually helped up right here with the games. First off, my parents, Jeff and Jenna Meyerhofer, stepped in when they were needed. When some bodies needed to be filled on camera or computer. And I'd also like to thank Mr. Steve Haynes, the athletic director, for joining us a couple times here on Irish Live. And then also, then I'll just run through the classes for a second. Sophomore Calvin Meyerhofer, that's my brother. He did a lot of work here too. Ashley Alsvik did a lot of the camera work, so thanking her for her time. David Bergeson, so a lot of times on the camera, did some of the computer. I think he was on the mic a couple times. Then Will Thrun and Brady Barla, both of them with some camera and computer work as well. Kiera Wozniak sent that one into the net. It's 13-5, and Bromberg still up. Now we have the juniors, Mr. Brady Danik, with us here today, working the computer scoreboard and the instant replay, as well as, so we thank him for his time. Gibbon Siegel, Carter Ellis, and Owen Quigley joined us during the middle of the girls' basketball season and did a great job there with them. And they helped out with the JV football game as well a few weeks ago. And finally, Spencer DeGraff and Ryan McCauley, seniors. They helped out during the girls and boys basketball season, so we appreciate all that they've done for us here at Irish Live. And we want to congratulate them and you, Ricky, for a great win last night against Dwight. Finally, I want to thank Mr. Richard Milliman right here beside me for all the work that he has done with us this year.
And I'd like to take this moment to say thank you, Levi, for orchestrating this whole organization.
Well, thank you. It's something I want to continue to do. Obviously, I won't be here with Irish Live. Excellent kill by Bland there, side note. Well, actually, that's the main note. But this is something I want to continue to do, and I hope to go to college to continue a career in sports broadcasting. So hopefully this is not the end of the line for me. Bromberg had an 11-0 run there, and that comes to an end. 16-6 right now. The Lady Irish lead the Hall Red Devils. Remember, though, we saw last time Seneca had a 10-0 run, and then Hall responded a little bit later with an 11-0 run, gave Seneca a scare. Gertz to Bland, received by Walk on the dig. Morris is going to safely pass it over, and that was received by Roslin. This is Gertz up to Bland, tips it over, and saved at the net by Hannon. Bland again. Looks like it might have been tipped at the net, but that still went off of Morris and out the back. It's 17-6, Lady Irish lead.
And we have number 17, Emma Smith, coming in for number 2, Taylor Draves.
Brooklyn Gertz's serve was taken by Morris. That's going to get down in the bleachers on the Hall side.
And we have number 5, Haley Einhaus, in for Emma Smith. And we have number 7, Harley Varland, in for number 12, Zoe Hogus. Gert still back to serve.
Varland passed that safely over, and that one was received by Dalzett. And a lift is going to be called against either Bland or Einhaus. A miscommunication. They both hit it. I'm not sure which one is going to get the call on it. Bland to Gertz, and that was Einhaus pass it over. Worden returned it. Here's Bland with the spike. That was tipped at the net by number 18, Vassos. And Seneca called in the net after the spike from Dalzat.
Who do you think serves or spikes harder, Madison Bromberg or Addison Bland?
I really think it depends on the night. I can't really tell. Also, I think it depends on where the serve is or where the set is coming from.
We're talking most ideal situations for both.
I really do not know. Either way, I know that I don't want to be on the receiving end.
Oh, absolutely.
Either my forearms or my fingertips, whether I'm in the back or the front, I don't want to be any part of that. This will bring up Hannon. Grieve to Gertz, up to Bland. That's going to be off of Hannon and come out, hit the Leprechaun. And Harley Varland up for Seneca, up 19-9. Yeah, Ricky, I don't know enough about wrestling, so I think I'm going to leave you to that one on the commentary. I think it's fitting that the first Irish Live broadcast was volleyball, and they weren't supposed to broadcast that one officially, put it out there when I was commentating that, but next day I found that they actually did. If you go back and watch that, please don't. It's against Midland, but please do not. It was really bad, and Irish Live has come a long way since then.
Was it cringe?
It was exactly as you would expect a high school junior starting out a new program to do.
Is it like everyone's first YouTube channel where you're like, hey, hi guys, how you doing?
It really is. I'm trying not to be too loud because I don't want the volleyball players in front of me to hear me. But at the same time, I'm not trying not to be too soft so you can still hear me on the broadcast.
Yeah.
And
that'll be called for a lift on Hall. But anyway, go on.
Still worked on, working on, where the voice should come from, making sure it's coming from the diaphragm instead of up in your throat or up in your head. And finding a good range to be in so that way your voice isn't scratchy and you're not yelling into the mic, which I did a lot of. I still did quite a bit of it this season, but for different settings, I feel like. It's a lot more controlled now. Block at the net. What a save by the Lady Irish from Merrick Varland and Gertz. And that's going to be a kill for Hall.
Just barely in.
That one very much hit the line. You know what? The middle of the floor always gets some love. You got to spread it out a little bit more.
Absolutely. You got to paint the lines once and again.
Johnson to Gertz. This is up to Lind. Into the net. 22-12. Seneca leads the Hall Red Devils. And Seneca's 3 points away from closing out their season. Johnson received the serve. This is Gertz up to Chloe Lind, who passed it over. Morris tipped at the net by Bromberg, and that's going to get down in front of Varland. It's 22-13. One more time, just a huge thank you to the freshman volleyball parents for getting this Subway, which is enough for 20 to 30 people.
Dude, it's so much Subway. Like, I don't.
Also the desserts and the Gatorade.
Dude, I'm a Rice Krispie treat man, and man, there's some good Rice Krispies they got in there. Just overall, above and beyond, like, that made my day. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All that Subway and everything just made my day.
Here's Chloe Lind. That's going to go off of walk and out of bounds. Seneca 1 point away from closing out their season. And a timeout's going to be called on Hall. 24-13.
I'd like to take this timeout to say it's been an honor.
It's been an honor to work with you, Ricky. I was really happy that you came in during the basketball season. And I thought it worked really well. Some excellent color commentary from you. And it's just been a pleasure to work with you on Irish Live.
Yeah, I came in, and my goal was not to do too much. I was just trying to be there, be a color guy, and I think I stuck to that quite well.
Lynn's serve taken by Walk. There's Matino. That's going to be out on Morris, and Seneca wins 25-13 in the second one. They take the sweep 2-0, and that's going to be it for Seneca's 9 seniors. Seneca graduating 9 seniors: Addie Bland, Justina Ursua, Addie Olson, Riley Johnson, Brooklyn Gertz, Maddie Bromberg, Chloe Lind, Destiny Downing, and Brooke Rosland. And Irish Live also, well, now with 5 seniors, now that Paige Baker was on the camera tonight, but Paige Baker, but also Spencer DeGraff and Ryan McCauley, who did a lot of the basketball season. And then myself and Richard Milliman is the last time we'll be on the call at least I will be on the call. Richard will be for wrestling, but as students here at Seneca High School. It's been an honor to call these games for you guys this season, and we hope that Irish Live continues some great work in the future. Right, Brady Danick, right next to me. He's nodding his head. And Ashley Alsvig, thank you. I'd like to thank everyone who's worked with Irish Live this season. The IT department, the athletic department, Mr. Haynes, also Mr. Wyndham for letting us use his room. And
get all the lettuce on the ground.
We're going to pick that up right now.
We are definitely going to pick up the lettuce. No sarcasm.
And also for allowing us to use a corner of his room for our small storage space of a cart and a little bit of other equipment. And that's going to do it here from the land of the Irish. For the final time this volleyball season, Seneca wins in 2 against the Hall Red Devils. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm Levi Meyerhofer here on Irish Live, along with Richard Milliman. And for the final time, this is Hoff
and Rick
signing off.